Hey everybody, this is Mike, and I've got a Garuda Hardmode video for you featuring special guest star Cheap Thunder. Anyways, so just a little bit about my role in this particular instance. I actually was recruited as the off-tank. So my job is going to be a little bit different. I'll try to explain a little bit about where everybody should be at and what they should be doing, as well as a little bit about what the main tank should actually do. I think I was uploading a video here too, so people weren't loading very fast. But anyways, this is generally where the tank pulls to right away. I always use that pile of rocks as a landmark. I think it can be sometimes difficult with the room being circular, especially later once the pillars are gone, to really know where you're at. But anyways, going on to what different skills she uses here. I think she's got Slipstream. That's the first one she just used. And Chief Thunder actually could have walked past her to not take that damage. You can line of sight that skill. And then this is the first positioning requirement. She becomes untargetable, and then she reappears right there next to the pile of rocks, and you want to line of sight her. She does a huge AoE right in the center of the room, and then she pops out these plumes, which if you got the timing down right, you can AoE them. Some groups do this part a little bit differently depending on the setup and how well your DPS is geared. Some people just decide to skip them altogether and just continue DPSing her. She actually, the different phases are actually completely dependent on her HP total. So if your DPS is really good, like I said, you can just skip those, and it's not an issue. But here I was lagging a little bit again, but. So there's another one of her skills is Wicked Wheel. It's just it's an AoE around her. It's tough or you can't avoid that, if you're a melee character. So, or you can get lucky like I did and just dodge it altogether. That's pretty nice. So that's her second positioning requirement. She actually goes to the center of the 4 pillars, and so you want to be on the outside of the pillars that time, or for that particular phase, so you can avoid her big AoE. Here's the second plumes. Again, depending on your DPS, you can skip them all together. So I've actually seen some other people, or a couple of groups, bind them or just root them in place. I'm not sure exactly which class gets that, if it's range or what, but you can stick them there and then just skip them, continue DPSing the boss. But we decided to take them down, and our DPS is pretty insane. So. I've actually got this is sorry, I'll get back to that later, but this is her third set of plumes there. She puts them throughout the whole area. It's harder to AoE those ones, so typically what a group will do is either limit break them, or I believe what we do is we skip them all together this time. The reason why you want to DPS the plumes in the first place is they're gonna be doing damage to the pillars. And however much the pillars have left, however many rocks are still stacked up when she goes to do her big skill called the Reckoning, that determines how much damage your party's going to take. And this is Reckoning coming up, and you can see there isn't a whole lot left of rocks. So we take a huge hit here. And I always like to hit Mantra there if I'm on my monk. Actually, I believe I have Mantra set up on my off tank too, so that's what I hit Mantra while everybody's grouped up, and it just increases the amount of healing that the clerics are going to put out. And if you pay attention, she does these AoEs on the ground, the little green feathers, and they turn into tornadoes, and that is directly related to where your tank is standing. So you want to have your tank standing to the outside of the room, kind of next to the pile of rocks again. And then this is her clone phase, where she puts out 2 clones. They have a red line going to one and a green line going to the other. If you're the off tank, you're going to want to pick up the one with the red line. And just tank that. I think it's got more it's got more HP and it hits a little bit harder. So that's why you wanna, if you've got a main tank. Some people decide to do this without one. Again, if you're crazy geared doing Garuda farm runs, and you don't need an off tank, then you know this isn't really gonna apply to you. And people may even change their priority of targets, but that green one goes down pretty quick and doesn't hit as hard, I believe. So that's why people usually just DPS it and go from there. Pretty soon here is where we're gonna start moving here. We move clockwise around the room. Here you go. So she puts feathers out, and then this is another little aspect of the fight. She puts one satin plume out, and then she puts a bunch of razor plumes throughout the room. The satin plume needs to die. I think I actually may have got, I believe it slept by it a little bit later on in the fight, and I'll try to point that out, but that's what happens if you don't take it down fast enough. It does. I don't know if it's an AoE sleep. I guess I haven't ever paid enough attention. It's pretty easy to take it down in time. But anyways, so this is the next part of the phase. We got a couple of. I actually like this video because it didn't go as smoothly. So sometimes I like to toss some videos up that aren't, best case scenario. So one of our healers goes down, and I believe he does get res, but good old Chief Thunder takes some pretty huge hits too. Almost goes down. But anyways, this is the next clone phase. As you can see, the blue areas of the room, you don't want to be out there. And when she does do this, or when she starts this phase, you want to be in the center. Here I fail a little bit. I got the one with the laser, and then I think I eat a slipstream here, which I end up taking a bunch of extra damage that I really shouldn't have. But the healers were on the ball, and the important part about this particular phase in the fight is really more on the, there's a slipstream that I didn't actually move on, so it took a huge hit. But the important part about this area in the fight is Garuda's positioning herself. When she disappears, the main tank really has to be on the ball as far as where he's got her facing, because she'll slipstream, and if other people are standing too close, she'll AoE him right in the face, and it'll one-shot your squishier characters. So now we're moved back out to the outside of the room, and again, like I said, the way that she puts the tornadoes down are directly related to where your tank is standing. So you generally want to be semi-bunched up. And then the satin plume came out again, and yeah, see, I got slept there. It didn't die fast enough, so I ended up getting slept. But whatever, it didn't matter. At this point we just bunched up. We didn't even move her on the room because she was so close to being dead. It could have gone really badly here, but it didn't, and we downed her. So that is Garuda Hardmode.